Nanya Spriha Raghupate Hridaye Asmadiye Satyam Badami Cha Bhavan Akhilantaratma Bhakti Prajacha Raghupungava Nirbharang Me Kamadidosharhitam Kurumanasancha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. O Lord, I tell you the truth. I have no other desire, and you, being the innermost self of all beings, know it very well. O God, give me the ardent devotion only, and make my mind pure and free from all impurities like passion, etc. Om, peace, peace, peace. A very good evening to all of you. We have been reading from the book Bhakti Yoga by Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji was giving us an understanding of different stages of bhakti, this definition of bhakti, then philosophy of Ishvara, aim of bhakti yoga, need of a guru, then qualifications of the teacher and the guru and the taught, the student, shishya, incarnate teacher. We are just at the close of entry of substitutes and images. We are reading from this chapter. Just we are at the end. Swami, fire god, all right. Oh, fire god, save me. There should not be any misfire, something wrong in my family, in my place, something. What about the god of wind? What about the god of rain, water? So many gods and goddesses are there, but behind that, only one God is there. This idea should be there. Otherwise, your result also will be a little bit, not the mukti or the bhakti, ultimate supreme devotion or supreme knowledge you cannot attain by worshipping small, tiny gods, thinking that he is God of only air, God of wind, God of sun god, and God of fire, God of some other natural power we find. If your mind is already limited power of the God you are worshipping, then your result also, it is a good thing, you are not doing anything bad, but you cannot expect mukti, liberation, or supreme devotion by worshipping this different gods, thinking that God is only that limited power of doing so and so things. If you can superimpose on that pratika, image, or this symbol, the all-powerful, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, that Brahman, that ultimate reality, that God, Ishvara, then you will get the ultimate realization of the ultimate goal, that is liberation or supreme devotion, whatever you think of. So you can get that, but not thinking that your God is with limited power, with this murti is God itself. It is not that. Murti is not the God. Image is not the, it becomes completely idolatry. So Swamiji was trying to make us understand that by here, in this way, does Brahman become the object of worship, because he, as Brahman, is superimposed on the pratikas, just as Vishnu, etc., are superimposed upon images, etc. Hindus do the puja, Bhagavan Vishnu, all-powerful, Para Vishnu, the Param Brahman, Para Vishnu, the supreme Vishnu, supreme reality, thinking that that power is present here in this idol, in this statue, in this image, in this photograph, in this symbol. Idea is that ultimate reality is we cannot see, but we are superimposing that ideal. My father has passed away. My father is not in the photograph, but I am showing my respect, thinking, feeling the presence of my father there and offering my prayers, whatever it is. Photo is not my father, but I am superimposing the presence of my father. Like that, if any pratika, any idol, any image, any symbol you worship with that idea, as the Hindus do, here in this way does Brahman become the object of worship. The fruition of even the worship of Adityas, etc., Brahman himself bestows, because he is the ruler of all. That Brahman, says Shankaracharya in his Brahma Sutra Bhashya. So, here in this way does Brahman become the object of worship. Although we are worshipping some kind of image or symbol, but in our mind we know that it is not, we are worshipping this stone image or this paper photograph or some sign, symbol. We know that ultimate reality, that all-powerful, that birthless, deathless, changeless, supreme reality is accepting my prayer, being present here, because I am invoking presence of that ultimate reality or that final God, Ishvara, with all power. When Brahman with power, we call it Ishvara. When Brahman without showing any power of back the unmanifested, we call it Brahman. So, Swamiji is very clear here, trying to make us understand that don't worship the idols or images thinking that idol is God. Idol is not God. Image is not God. But we superimpose the presence of God in the idol, in the photograph, in the symbol, and invoke the presence of that chosen deity which I am worshipping. So, the same ideas apply to the worship of the pratimas as to that of the pratikas. That is to say, if the image stands for a god or a saint, very important, if the image stands for a god or a saint, the worship is not the result of bhakti. It cannot be giving us that para bhakti, supreme devotion. If idea is that we are, our pratika or our symbol, our image stands for a god or a saint, then the worship is not the result of bhakti and does not lead to liberation. But if it stands for the one God, G capital, the worship thereof will bring both bhakti and mukti, means liberation, and bhakti means devotion. The supreme devotion, supreme liberation, knowledge you can get if you have that idea in your mind that absolute reality now is being worshipped by me on this image, in this pratika, symbol, sign, whatever it may be. If your idea is that, then it is possible and it is higher. Otherwise, it is not a bhakti. And you cannot, if you are saying, oh, this saint, you are thinking this photograph of a saint only. The saint also is all right, good. You are doing some good karma, you will raise yourself to a little higher level. Yes, you go to the heaven, and after enjoying some your good time, the good result of your this karmas, all these are good karmas, all right, you come back, but you cannot get yourself liberated, or you cannot claim that you have achieved, experienced the supreme devotion. That is possible only when you have that idea in your mind that whatever I am, if the pratika, the image or the symbol stands for the one God, that ultimate reality, then the worship thereof will bring both bhakti and mukti. So, it is in our master's life we find one Gopaler Ma was there. Gopal's mother. He was born in a Brahmin family, not very rich, poor Brahmin's family, but very good, pious family. At the age of 8, 9 years, in those days, small girls used to be given to marriage, and she became widowed, and she started doing the sadhana puja, Gopal. So she used to come to Sri Ramakrishna. In Sri Ramakrishna, she found that Gopala. Gopala means the baby Krishna. So, Sri Ramakrishna was telling, yes, don't think this baby Krishna is something. Think of this baby Krishna, that ultimate, that Krishna. If you see, if we worship anyone feeling the presence of God, then there is no attachment. It is a puja, worship. But if I think it is my son, it is my brother, it is my mother, it is my, then we are limiting. We are not worshipping that ultimate reality, but worshipping something I am thinking higher than me. My well-wisher, I may get something good, but not liberation, not. This cannot be called devotion. According to Bhakti Shastra, devotion means your complete love, supreme love for the ultimate reality, God. Not any for anything. It becomes a kind of attachment. But when you superimpose the presence of God in that body, we can worship. Swamiji said, Shivogane Jiva Shiva. Service to man, human being, service to any animal is service to God. But first it is in human beings, the highest manifestation of God, the highest creation of God in human being. Where you will find that manifestation of divinity, everything that is good, pure, values, ethics, morality. No brutal, in the animal kingdom, we find some pet animals are there, but mostly other things are there. They have their instincts, animal instincts. So, if you are worshipping any symbol, any pratik, any pratima, any image, with the idea that it stands for the one God, ultimate reality, the worship thereof will bring forth both bhakti and mukti, liberation and freedom, and also the bhakti means highest devotion, supreme devotion. You can get that. Of the principal religions of the world, so that Gopal's mother had visions. Swami Vivekananda was claiming, challenging Sri Ramakrishna when he was young, Narendranath. No, what you have seen, it is your hallucination, this, that, whole night you don't sleep. Always thinking, so it is a kind of dream, and actually you have not studied philosophy. We know mind, it comes in the mind. It is hallucination, it comes in dream. Whatever whole day, night you are thinking of, that appears, but it is not actually real. So he would contradict and argue with Sri Ramakrishna, young Narendranath. But one day he didn't know that mother came, Gopaler Ma, and Sri Ramakrishna used to call her as mother, and she also used to see that Sri Krishna, Bala Gopal, the baby Krishna, in Ramakrishna. Oh my Gopal, at night I have seen you came, this, that, all the stories he was telling. Now from a distance, Naren was present. Naren could challenge Ramakrishna, but cannot challenge this lady. Completely overwhelmed with this ecstatic mood, still he is carrying that mood. Whole night he enjoyed the presence of Sri Ramakrishna as the baby Gopala, as God. So now, afterwards, Narendranath said, Swami Vivekananda, how can I say no? to this lady. I understand. It is completely with her pure mind. She felt it, she realized it, she experienced it. It is not something that mentally he's creating and telling. It is not that. I have seen. So, if we superimpose the Almighty God in the symbol or image, then the result will be, it is devotion, supreme knowledge, liberation. But if we think that that is just it stands for a god or a saint, then it cannot be said it is bhakti, and it cannot lead us to liberation. It will lift us to something higher, to heaven. It is karma kanda. Karma means this action. Karma and jnana. In the Vedas, there are two main sections. You do fire worship, this worship, that worship, ritualistic worship, you go to heaven for some time, because these are good things you are doing. You are not doing anything wrong. You are not killing anybody. You are pure in your mind, in your thing. But your aim is very low. It can take only towards a little bit higher. Where is that? It is heaven. And heaven is what? It is some place you can imagine. If people think of that everything is very joyful, blissful, sufficient food, sufficient sleep, sufficient enjoyment, all these things. You see, you will not have this physical body, your sense organs. We all enjoy through our physical body. Mind is also a matter, although we cannot see it, but this is also a sense organ. It is. So, in heaven, you enjoy for some years. When your kshine purne martolokang vishanti. Again, you have to come back to this earth level to do your tapasya, your sadhana, to raise yourself. You can ask for liberation, you can try for that, your aim, supreme devotion, supreme knowledge, liberation. Or you can have the idea of doing all this karmakanda activities, ritualistic activities, worship, what we call, and enjoy for some years, for some time, according to your punya merit you earned by doing those karmas, good karmas, ritualistic karmas, activities, worship, ritualistic worship. But again you will come back after enjoying that heaven, so-called heaven, whatever you think of. So heaven is a place that you enjoy, but you are not liberated. So if you want to have liberation and supreme devotion, supreme knowledge, then you have to impose, superimpose on the image or the symbol that it stands for one God, ultimate reality, Almighty God. Then this worship thereof will bring both bhakti and mukti. Of the principal religions of the world, we see Vedantism. Swamiji preached this Vedantism. As I told, there are two sections, parts, Karmakanda and Jnanakanda. Let us finish, keep it in mind. We'll have question answer at the end. So, this Karmakanda and Jnanakanda is Upanishad, Shrutis, Vedanta, Vedanta, end of the Vedas. And in the beginning, there is Karmakanda. What is that? This ritualistic worship. What is the result of that? What I will get? Liberation? No. Supreme elevation? No. Supreme devotion? No. What? A little enjoyment for some time in a higher level, as people imagine that there you can enjoy. Suffering is not there. But can you enjoy in this way? Because we enjoy through our senses. There, you will not be in your physical body there. Then how can you enjoy? Gross enjoyment. We understand our gross enjoyment. However, Swamiji is telling in Vedantism, in Buddhism, and certain forms of Christianity, freely using images. Only two religions, Mohammedanism and Protestantism, refuse such help. Yet the Mohammedans use the graves of their saints and martyrs almost in the place of images. And the Protestants in rejecting all concrete helps to religion are drifting away every year further and further from spirituality till at present there is scarcely any difference between the advanced Protestants and the followers of Auguste Comte or agnostics who preach ethics alone. So Swamiji is telling that in almost all the religions we find, although they don't say we worship any symbol sign, but we find cross is there in the Christianity, nothing wrong. So Vedantism also, that is Vedantism, Buddhism also, they also worship. And certain forms of Christianity also freely using images. But Mohammedanism and Protestants, they refuse such help. Yet the Mohammedans, at least they worship the graves of their saints and martyrs almost in the place of images. They say it is not the Hindus are idolatry, others are doing idolatry, but our going to the tomb and graves, and they call mazar, something like that. So that is very pious and precious in their religion. That is approved. But Swamiji said there is also a kind of image worship, some kind of symbol, sign, image. You admit or not admit, but good, it is not bad. Swamiji is telling, only when you think that it is that saint, then it becomes completely karmakanda. You will raise yourself to a little higher level and again come back. You cannot get liberation by worshipping a mazar or some tomb, all these things. Yet the Mohammedans use the graves of their saints and martyrs almost in the place of images, and the Protestants, in rejecting all concrete helps to religion, are drifting away every year further and further from spirituality till at present there is scarcely any difference between the advanced Protestants and the followers of Auguste Comte. Auguste Comte is a French philosopher, mathematician, and social scientist. He had great contribution. He is actually thought of that in the social science he has given the first father of this sociology, like that. What he said? He said that he formulated doctrine of positivism. What is this positivism? Some ethics, morality they preach. They don't believe in that the presence of that ultimate reality, that power. So they are actually, Swamiji is telling, agnostics. They are Comte or agnostics who preach ethics alone. Yes, human society, there are three stages. Comte's theory of positivity is that there are three stages for in the society. Society is social evolution going on. What happens? In the beginning, there is theological stage. It is fictitious. Theology they don't believe in. It is fictitious stage in the society. Then evolution is going on, taking place in the society. Next come metaphysical. Metaphysical is abstract. You cannot touch. You cannot show, you cannot see, it is not something concrete. So it is also abstract. There is not too much value in. Then comes the scientific stage, which is according to this French philosopher, father of social science, social evolution, according to him, that this society actually is being run and ruled by the scientific principles which you can prove, which you can experience. So it is positive stage. But you must be ethical, moral. Good things are there. Nothing is bad. But level of thinking is, you see, that there is one ultimate power is there, whatever name you give, that they don't believe in. They believe in it is in the society, it is going on in the whole universe. Evolution is going on in the social mind also, where we belong to the theological stage, which is fictitious, and then comes a little bit, we raise our culture, our polish our thoughts, it becomes metaphysical, which is abstract. Then what finally the society is depending on, being run and ruled? So it is positivity, which is nothing but scientific stage, this positive stage. So that is Conte. Actually they are agnostic, not believing in the ultimate reality power. We believe in that which never changes. Evolution means it is changing. But Brahman, that ultimate reality, is beyond any change, birthless, deathless, changeless, eternal. Nitya, Mukta, Buddha, ever enlightened. It is not that we are actually all enlightened, but out of Maya, we do not feel so. That is, we call, oh, I am body, I am this, I am male, I am female, I am American, I am European, I am white, I am black. These so many things we suffer from, actually according to our psychological condition and maturity. So, Swamiji is telling what happens to these Protestants. They have actually become agnostics, followers of Auguste Comte are agnostics, those who only preach the ethics alone. They teach some moral and ethical values should be, otherwise how can a society run and conduct and go advancement come, you must follow certain morality and ethics. But spiritual persons, followers of spirituality, according to them, the ethics and morality are just at the base. When ethics, morality ends, spirituality starts. It is not only ethics and morality. Following ethics and morality, we follow something. But if we do not have the idea of something, a supreme power, which is Nitya, Shuddha, Buddha, Mukta, ever pure, then we cannot actually get the taste of experience of that ultimate reality, something supreme. So it is lower level understanding. So Swamiji is telling, and what result has come up again in Christianity and Mohammedanism. Whatever exists of image worship is made to fall under that category in which the pratika symbol or the pratima image is worshipped in itself, but not as a help to the vision. Drishti Saukaryam. Drishti Saukaryam, that Swamiji is telling, if you can superimpose the Brahman in anything, then you will get the result of worshipping the Brahman. I am worshipping something, but thinking the presence of superimposing in it that ultimate reality. Then but they don't do it. So, not with the idea of Drishti Saukaryam, help to the vision of God. Not that idea, what they do. What is happening to them? Therefore, it is at best only of the nature of ritualistic karmas and cannot produce either bhakti or mukti, supreme devotion or supreme knowledge, liberation. In this form of image worship, the allegiance of the soul is given to other things than Ishvara, and therefore such Ishvara means that Supreme Lord, Supreme God, with the power of creation, preservation, destruction. And therefore such use of images or graves or temples or tombs is real idolatry. Hindus do not follow the path of idolatry. They condemn. Hindus are actually following that ultimate reality I cannot see, I cannot touch. So I am superimposing, I am thinking that that ultimate reality is present here, Almighty God, or completed that unmanifested Brahman is present everywhere, it's present here also. Idea is clear. But in these paths, sects, they worship, what they do, it is just idol worship. Real idolatry is that it is in itself neither sinful nor wicked. Swamiji is not condemning. Swamiji is just giving the explanation. If I say I have 20 fingers, Swamiji is telling, no, you have 5 fingers. If I say this is my head, Swamiji is telling, no, this is not the head. This is your hand and with fingers. So it is Swamiji is putting the truth that whatever they are doing actually from discriminative point of view, we find that it fits in Hinduism what is idolatry. That karma kanda in the Vedas, that you do some good work and raise yourself, enjoy some higher sphere, what is called heaven, swarga, and again you come back, but you cannot get liberation. So real idolatry is that, not feeling the presence of that ultimate reality in the object of my worship. So it is in itself neither sinful nor wicked. It is a rite, a karma. It is something ritual. It is not the highest form of worship. It is a ritual. Rituals are always secondary things. Doctrines and dogmas and all these ritualistic worships are secondary details. What is the definition of religion? Religion is the manifestation of the divinity already in man. These doctrines and dogmas and this kind of ritualistic worships, all these things we do because we have all levels. Sri Ramakrishna said, can you put 5 liters in 1 liter container? 1 liter container can contain only 1 liter, cannot 5 liters. Can you make what is sexual intercourse a 5 years or 3-4 years boy or girl? Will they understand? Whatever language you use, they will not understand that. It is beyond their capacity. Sri Ramakrishna is giving concrete examples. It is not possible. So, this ritualistic worship, idea is not that Almighty God, Creator, Almighty is present here. They do something, it can be said that it is karma kanda, ritualistic worship, a form of, and it has also a good result. What will be that? It will raise you to certain level where you can enjoy for some time, again you have to come back. A rite, a karma. And worshippers must and will get the fruit thereof. It has also its fruit. All karma has its fruit. Bad karma will give the result of birth of bad result, and which we call misery, which we call suffering. Good karmas will give some good results, which is something enjoyment, not mukti, not supreme devotion. That is Swamiji is making very clear here through all this, again and again, trying to make us understand that worshipping the people misunderstand that. Oh, this is a murti. Oh, break the murti. See, in Afghanistan, wherever they found the big Buddha murtis, Buddha, you see, that enlightened one who never ever said anything wrong against anybody and whose life was completely given for the service of one and all. He said, what type of God, these, that, leave all those things. You just think that there is suffering, there is root of suffering, cause of suffering, and there is the path, way to come out of suffering. So follow that. Don't fight and this and that. You are also like me. You can become enlightened. And that is the goal of human life. Do that. You can do that. And that Buddha's murti, all with cannons, with mortar, what you call big tanks, something. Big Buddha murtis were there in Afghanistan. They are called Talibans, perhaps. All destroyed. Anywhere there is murti, what a violent mind. If God can be present everywhere, why not God is present here also? Why I destroy it? Why I break it, this destructive ideology is very bad. All our prophets preach something positive, creative. Swami Vivekananda said, help if you can, hands off if you cannot. Don't bring more misery in this world. Many people are suffering in many ways, in all societies, in all countries. If you can, help. Do something for others. People criticize. I worship that God whom you call man by mistake. See the heart. Buddha is giving his head to the king. The king, you are doing sacrifice of killing sacrificing the goats. I am a human being, I am not a goat. If you sacrifice me, why you are doing? You will get merit. You will get more merit if you sacrifice me. I am giving my head. You sacrifice. You use it, but don't kill any more goats. See the love. And his murti was being destroyed. All these gods and goddesses, it is just the symbol of that ultimate reality. Power, what is power? Do you see? Electricity is there. Only you can understand and see and enjoy if there is a fan. Then it is very hot. Fan is, AC is there. Electricity you don't see. You cannot touch. But with some gadget, through something, you feel the presence of electricity, be it a bulb, be it something fan, be it some other thing. So pratikas are not the God itself. We superimpose the presence of God in the pratikas and pratimas, images, and feel good that yes, I cannot see formless aspect, but I am thinking that ultimate power, Almighty God, can take form also. He is not bound by anything. He can take male form, he can take female form, he can take a child form, he can take something other form, anything. Why we like to limit the power of the Almighty, who is Almighty, who is all-powerful? We are telling God can take this form only, God can take that only. God cannot take any form, God is always formless. Who are you to say that? See the fanaticism. Accept. You like formless aspect. Sri Ramakrishna is telling in the Gospel, record of the Gospel when he was in second meeting, do you believe in God? Yes. With form, without form? He was thinking what I answer. They said, I try to believe, I actually believe in formless aspect. Oh, that's good, but know that God with form is also equally true and correct. See in the first meeting. Actually, it was second meeting. First meeting was in the evening. No conversation was there. They came, made pranams, and went. And Sri Ramakrishna said, "Oh, acha, come again, come again." And M was telling, "Come again," always in the mind. That wonderful man. What a wonderful place. What sweet words. What beautiful place, environment, and what words he was speaking. The person who was trying to go commit suicide. Now, Buddha, Ramakrishna, Ram, Krishna, Jishu, if you break their murtis and their signs and symbols and images, what's wrong with you? So, highest worship is to superimpose, invoke the presence of that Almighty God, whatever form you like. Now we will come to the chosen ideal. This chapter is ended here. Swamiji is telling. Otherwise it becomes a ritualistic karma. It does not become that puja of the highest level, and it is not bhakti, and the result will not be the supreme devotion, bhakti, or mukti, supreme liberation, highest liberation, freedom, cannot be achieved. Now, the new chapter, Swamiji is giving us an idea of the chosen ideal. So, guru, student, qualification, and how to worship, this, all these things, mantra. Now, the chosen ideal, Swamiji will read from there, quoting from different places. The next thing to be considered is what we know as Ishtanistha, the chosen ideal. We have to have complete faith in or on the object of our meditation, worship. Today I have faith, tomorrow I do not have, that will not do. Today I like physics, I attend, oh, you're a physics professor, I want. Then tomorrow I go to chemistry, day after, then I am frustrated, I know where I go. That will not do. Swamiji is telling, you find out any path, you choose any image, any god, any goddess, with form, without form, something you choose. Strengthen your mind, stabilize, make it stable. Every time you are drifting from one place to another, Sri Ramakrishna gave a wonderful example. These Calcutta people, they don't have tenacity, grit, sincerity, right earnestness. They run after something. Say you want to have, there is drought, you want to have, dig an well and to get water. So, all right, you are digging. After 5 feet, 10 feet, oh, you are tired. No, this place is very dry. There, you go to another place. There 5, 10 feet, you go to another place. You have to go 20 feet minimum. Then only you will get the stream. Calcutta people, Swamiji, Master was telling, actually Calcutta people means educated, so-called Western educated people, not showing the total sacrifice I will do for this to achieve my goal. Something I am trying for some days, and then getting frustrated, going to another one. So, the fickle-mindedness will not do. You find out the chosen ideal, you have to be very true and honest to your ideal, to the object of your meditation, object of your worship. The next thing is to be considered is what we know as Ishta-Nishtha. Ishta means chosen ideal. Nishtha means be completely honest to it, not deviation, holding it, steadfast devotion for my object of meditation, worship. One who aspires to be a bhakta, devotee, must know that so many opinions are so many ways. Sri Ramakrishna said, yato mat, tato pat. As many faiths, so many paths. Only you have to be very right, honest, as Swamiji is telling. You have to be honest. I am telling you, you see, actually, I like to see God, I like to realize God. In this life now itself, my heart is burning, but actually I am getting joy in all other things, not in the meditation or thought of my chosen ideal God. I am telling something, but no. So Master also said, no, that will not do. Swamiji is also telling that you have to believe in so many paths. All these faiths are valid paths if there is honesty, purity, real earnestness to reach the goal, to experience that highest goal. So many opinions are so many ways. He must know that all the various sects of the various religions are the various manifestations of the glory of the same Lord. Ekam sad vipra bohoda bodanti. That ultimate reality one. People with their sharp intellect, they're described in different names, different forms, different ways, different languages. I tell, I will take jol. I will take aqua. He is telling, I will take water. Somebody is telling, I will take something, another name. What is it in Spanish, water? Agua. So agua, aqua, water, pani, bari. So many names are there. But actually it is scientifically, scientists will say, whatever name we give, to me it is H2O. So, Swamiji is telling, he must know that all the various sects of the various religions are the various manifestations of the glory of the same Lord, L capital. They call you, now Swamiji is quoting a wonderful sutra from Shiksha Ashtakam, morning we chant here. Swamiji is telling, they call you, and I quote, they call you by so many names, they divide you as it were by different names, yet in each one of these is to be found your omnipotence. You reach the worshipper through all of these. Neither is there any special time so long as the soul has intense love for you. You are so easy of approach. It is by misfortune that I cannot love you. Chaitanya Dev, another avatar of love God. This Sri Krishna and Sri Radha manifested, incarnated in one body is Chaitanya Dev. Nearly 450 years prior to Sri Ramakrishna. In Bengal he came, and this it is quoted from Shiksha Ashtakam. Nam nam kari bahuda nija sarva shakti statrarpita niyamitaha smaranena kalaha etadrishi tava kripa bhagavan mamapi durdaivam vidrishamiha jani nanuragaha. So meaning is that you are so easy to approach. You reach the worshipper through all of these. Neither is there any special time so long as the soul has intense love for you. You are so easy of approach. Yet it is by misfortune that I don't have feeling of love for you. Oh God, what will happen to me? So those who are devoted, they are never happy. We have a little devotion, we boast, I am a great devotee, I have. But real devotees, they say, oh, I am so unfortunate that I cannot love God 24 hours always. Why something else comes in my mind? Why not? I give my 100% to God. So their mind is like that. Chaitanya Dev is telling that you are so easily approachable. No time is set. Any time you can take God's name. For school, college, anything. No, this is 10 to 10, 5 to 5. This is this. You have to give fees. God's name, sitting anywhere, in sleep also. Old sadhus we have seen. They just, old people cannot sleep deeply. Just something a little, and this going on. Japam, doing, automatically going on. Maharaj, sleeping, this is a stage that you do not have anything else in your mind. Mind is occupied by God and God alone. That is the condition of the true devotees. I don't like to think. I have just chanted Hanumanji, oh Ramchandraji, oh God. Oh my Lord, I don't want anything else. And you sitting in my heart, you also know. Give me the pure love, pure devotion. Don't bind me through your maya, anything worldly. No desire should come in my mind other than you and you alone. That is called Parabhakti, supreme love, devotion. That is the aim of devotee's path. Bhakti path, if you follow, you will also have. We will all also have that kind of feeling that without God our life is dry. It is lifeless life. So Swamiji is quoting that, the chosen ideal that they call you by so many names, they divide you as it were by different names, yet in each one of these is to be found your omnipotence. You reach the worshipper through all of these. Neither is there any special time so long as the soul has intense love for you. You are so easy of approach. It is by misfortune that I cannot love you. Unquote. So now Swamiji is telling not only this, the bhakta must take care not to hate nor even to criticize those radiant sons of light who are the founders of various sects. He must not even hear them spoken ill of. Very few indeed are those who are at once the possessors of an extensive sympathy and power of appreciation, as well as an intensity of love. You see, I have just said this in Afghanistan, what they did. And Swamiji is telling, don't hate, don't try to break all these children of light, radiant sons of light, who are the founders of various sects. Why you hate other sect? You follow one sect, you all right, go. If I have one glass of water, all right, I am happy with this is enough to quench my thirst. Why I am spoiling your and breaking your glass so that you cannot get the water? This is the problem of this violent world. And we claim, everything I am doing in the name of religion. I am a devotee of God. That is why I am punishing you. God has given me the responsibility to punish everybody who is not following my words. I myself is andho, blind, and trying to show you I will show you the path. So Swamiji is telling that a real bhakta must take care not to hate, nor even to criticize those radiant sons of light who are the founders of various sects. He must not even, bhakta will not even hear them spoken ill of. If real devotee, if you speak something wrong about God, any real genuine devotees will tell, why unnecessarily you are talking all these things. He or she will leave the place, or very lovingly, not quarrel, because he cannot show anything hate, anything other than love, anything, because God is in his or her mind. Their mind becomes changed. They cannot become rude to anybody. They cannot become violent, because they feel the presence of God in everyone. My God is not only sitting here, my God is sitting in your heart, in everyone's heart, everywhere. So, that is the real devotee. A real bhakta must always follow this, and he will not find any fault with others, no criticism, nothing. Very few indeed, but you see, this kind of devotees, how many we find? Very few indeed are those who are at once the possessors of an extensive sympathy and power of appreciation. We appreciate our things, but we cannot appreciate even good in others. There is good in others, we forget. Our mind is so narrow that we forget to appreciate good qualities in others. Although good is good, whether it is with you or with me, here and there. This extensive sympathy of appreciation, as well as an intensity of love. Intensity of love for God is also there, and also appreciation for other sects, love for other sects. Yes, you are also trying to reach my God, my chosen ideal. Your God and my God are not separate. You are telling, I am taking water, I am telling, I am taking body, I am taking pani, I am taking jal, I am taking aqua. No, you cannot say I am taking water and it is H2O. It's all. So Swamiji is telling how a handful of people we get with that both. They have the power of appreciation, sympathy, intense love. We find as a rule that liberal and sympathetic sects lose the intensity of religious feeling, and in their hands, religion is apt to degenerate into a kind of politico-social club life. Some people say we are secular. No, you people are fanatic, you people are dominant. Secular means not going deep into the thing. Trying to show, no, I appreciate your path is. It is not that easy thing. If you really do not experience yourself, you cannot say that you are also right, you are also right. I do not myself know. But showing outside, it becomes a politico-social club life. In the name of generosity, No, no, we are secular, we are broad-minded, we appreciate all. It is not that easy thing. You must appreciate when your own mind is pure. You are doing something only to show. If you don't feel the presence of God in everyone, you cannot appreciate. You are telling, it is dry words. It's not your feeling. Just to show that I am greater than you, I am not narrow-minded, I appreciate. It is not that easy thing, Swamiji is telling. It becomes a politico-social club life. On the other hand, intensely narrow sectaries, whilst displaying a very commendable love of their own ideals, are seen to have acquired every particle of that love by hating everyone who is not of exactly the same opinions as themselves. Swamiji is Swamiji, Rishi, seer of the truth, is telling, you see. On the other hand, those who are very religious, so-called, to his or her sect, they are very hateful, reserved. Anything good in others, they will always, very commendable love for their own ideals, are seen to have acquired every particle of that love by hating everyone who is not of exactly the same opinions as themselves. Some people shows we are so big, but actually not experiencing the truth. It is only dry words, not understanding. It is only for win over the minds of the people to have votes or support. You have to realize, feel it, that really God is there in everyone, in everything. Then it becomes powerful. Then when you really feel it, you tell others, they also feel inspired, encouraged. They feel the presence of strength through your words. A person who himself is not practicing that, who has, if I smoke myself and say, no, smoking is bad to my students, so students will accept that. They will not say anything, but they will say, you see, what hypocrite. He himself smokes and giving us knowledge, idea. Don't smoke, smoking is bad. Then why don't you follow yourself? So, this secularism is not being very superficial and telling something. No, no, all paths are right. Have you tested that all paths are right? You are telling, who are you? You do not have any experience. And other side is, anything not following my path is bad. So Swamiji is telling, this both are, it is not the right thing. Anything they do, they think that at the cost of other faiths and other followers of other sects and ideas, they get joy. Would to God that this world was full of men who were as intense in their love as worldwide in their sympathies. But such are only few and far between. Yet we know that it is practicable to educate large numbers of human beings into the ideal of a wonderful blending of both the width and the intensity of love. And the way to do that is by this path of the Ishtanistha, or steadfast devotion to the chosen ideal. Every sect of every religion presents only one ideal of its own to mankind. But the eternal Vedantic religion opens to mankind an infinite number of doors for ingress into the inner shrine of divinity, and places before humanity an almost inexhaustible array of ideals, there being in each of them a manifestation of the Eternal One, E capital, O capital, with the kindest solicitudes solicitude of with the kindest solicitude, the Vedanta points out to aspiring men and women the numerous roads hewn out of the solid rock of the realities of human life by the glorious sons or human manifestations of God in the past and in the present, and stands with outstretched arms to welcome all, to welcome even those that are yet to be, to that home of truth and that ocean of bliss, wherein the human soul, liberated from the net of Maya, may transport itself with perfect freedom and with eternal joy. Long sentence covering, making a complete paragraph. So, Swamiji is telling that how many people we find that having that love for the ideal and also power of appreciation, good in others, blending of both, this wonderful blending. Yet we know that it is practicable to educate large numbers of human beings into the ideal of a wonderful blending of both the width and the intensity of love. And the way to do that is by this path of the Ishtanishta, or steadfast devotion to the chosen ideal. Every sect of every religion presents only one ideal of its own to mankind, but the eternal Vedantic religion opens to mankind an infinite number of doors for ingress into the inner shrine of divinity and places before humanity an almost inexhaustible area of ideals, there being in each one of them a manifestation of the Eternal One. So don't be narrow-minded. See, feel the presence of God, the Almighty, omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient, anywhere and anywhere, in any image, in anything, in any name, in any form, with formless or in formless aspect also. So we can teach these things, we can practice ourselves this, and we can encourage and inspire people to follow this path and come out of the Maya, transport itself the perfect freedom and with eternal joy. If you can do this, generating, growing good things, divine qualities within yourself, and also appreciating divine qualities in others, if you can blend all these things, don't try to live at the cost of others, rather combine that ultimate reality. Vedanta gives this magnanimous outlook, that any path, you must be truthful, you must be pure, you must be devoted, you must be honest and true to your aim and path. There should not be any hypocrisy. So Vedanta is giving the eternal. Swamiji said, for every, now 8 billion people are there. Swamiji's time it was nearly 400 or something like that. Swamiji said, for every man should have a separate path, because each and everyone's understanding is different. Our two thumbs are not the same, identical. So Swamiji said that freedom should be there, but not try to condemn others. Don't try to live at the cost of others. That is not religion, that is not bhakti, that is not a real path. That is something, whatever it may be, but it cannot raise yourself. It is hypocrisy, it is selfishness, and unselfishness is God. I am quoting Vivekananda. With selfish motive, you cannot enjoy the ultimate reality, which is unselfish. Unselfishness is God. So we will continue with this wonderful Bhakti Yoga words of Swami Vivekananda. So we stop here. Yes, you had some questions. First your question, then you go to the online, or you finish online first?
Okay, I was just wondering what the difference, I've heard bhakti and mukti. I understand what mukti is, but I don't understand what bhakti is.
Bhakti is devotion and mukti is liberation. If I worship gods and goddesses, tiny gods and goddesses with limited power, idea is that this is the God, not having the idea of the presence of God, power of God, omnipotent, omnipresence, these qualities, omniscient, so all these attributes and qualities, if I do not have any idea and thinking this is the God, this murti or this image is God, then I will neither get the supreme devotion, which is aimed at God only, and also the mukti, liberation. Bhakti means supreme devotion, love for God, pure love for God is bhakti, and devotion and mukti is liberation, freedom. Am I clear? Mm-hmm. Any question? Online? So, thanks to all of you. We close here. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.